happen. XQC onto the high ground, doesn't quite get it. Oh, but Taimu takes down Fleta with attack visor. Good start. There's the self-destruct from Mickey, paving the way for Dallas to position themselves on the point right now. Taimu fighting for his life, pushes back the Lucio for the moment. We're into OT again, but that's one tick already. Munchkin falls. Dallas looks like for Dallas to position themselves. They may have the position to do this. This would be and Mir. It's all on him and Toby right now. The Lunatic High Core, they need to save their team to win this map. OT getting low, they gotta stay on the point. Dallas cannot afford to do it. This may be it. I don't know, man. I think Seul may have the number.
XQC, can he buy the time with that primal rage?
Taimu falls. XQC backs away, and he can't get to the point. Seul Dynasty will tie up this series.
Wow,
man.
Woo. Man, you know, you gotta say, when we had the preseason, when we had the Overwatch World Cup, that Hanamura match between Korea and USA was probably the best map of that whole tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And this Assault map 2 turning into what a thrilling display of Overwatch skill here on our first day of the league.
Absolutely awesome start to what we knew was going to be a marquee matchup. Dallas Fuel and Seul Dynasty all tied up here in the Overwatch League, and we're gonna take a break, guys, and when we come back, it's halftime. Gonna break it down at the desk, and I need to give my voice a break, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back on the Overwatch League right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP.
Did that hurt? I will watch over you.
Возьми Макри, либо солдата, мне все равно.
А что вы не смотрите Overwatch League?
Нет.
В смысле? Очки не дадут за нее. Все равно сейчас. Потому что это уже повтор. Надо было в 3 часа ночи. Надо было в 3 часа ночи смотреть. Не трансляция, это повтор трансляция. А они все эти проводят в 3 часа ночи.
If you didn't enjoy the first 2 games in this series, well, you're not a true Overwatch fan. That is some of the best competition we have seen at the professional level, and it's just here on day 1 of the regular season. Welcome back. It's halftime between the Dallas Fuel and the Seoul Dynasty, and our score is tied up 1 apiece. Bren, we're going to jump into this one. It's our insights powered by Intel, and you're going to break it down for the telestrator for us.
I've got a nice little play for us today here. It's going to be actually Dallas Fuel on their initial final push here on map number 1, as you can see. I just want to point out very quickly as well this interesting composition by Dallas Fuel, and it really highlights the uniqueness. They're only running the 1 healer, and that's Custer right there. But the reason they can run this 1 healer is because they've got the South healing on Harry Hook running the Bastion, the healing that's built into Reaper as well as Taimu as well on that Roadhog. All have those South healing capabilities, which means you don't actually need 2 healers to run this, and you just get overwhelming damage from it. Another little juicy play that actually did occur here is Taimu in particular. This guy is so smart with his whole hogs throughout the entire game. I'll slow it down a little bit. So he does the breather, and you'll notice as well, he's playing the front lines as well for the entirety of this team, just really soaking up the brunt force of the damage from Seoul all around here. And now he knows he's got his whole hog. He gets a brilliant hook onto Ryu Haejong, and then a whole hog comes out. And look at this entire area that he's denying with it. It is fantastic. Completely denies them away from the point. They can't get anywhere near it, and eventually gives Dallas that initial win there.
And for anyone of our new fans out here, of course, in our insights powered by Intel, we should point out that Ryu Jae-hong was trying to stall the cart. Using that ultimate, he would have survived. He would have been able to jump up on the cart, stall this one out. The whole hog, excellent way to push them back. But Sideshow, before we move on to game 2, let's talk a little bit more about this first game, because Dallas comes out with a lineup we didn't expect. Custa, Seagull in the starting lineup at game 1 right away for Junkertown, and they continued to be creative with their attacks.
They did, yeah. They had a strategy definitely coming into it, and this is what we were talking about with them being such a creative team. They have the ability with their large roster to be able to field people that have different strategies or that bring different things to the table, and the fact that they were running Custer and Harry Hook could be a fairly reasonable support duo, but Harry Hook is playing Bastion for the majority of the game, and he's such a phenomenal DPS player as well that they really made that niche strategy that you were describing work very well, and it took Seoul off guard.
So we saw some creativity coming in from our Dallas Fuel team in the first map. In the second map, a fantastic start again for the Dallas Fuel, but we talked about the strength of the Seoul Dynasty lineup. It's their adaptation, the ability to change with the same comp the way they're playing in the game, and that's exactly what we're about to break down next.
Absolutely. We've got a clip here as well, which was Seoul Dynasty going up on the attack. And you can see here the dive that they execute. They send Munchkin round on the right-hand side, and he tries to pincer them from behind. Gets the pick onto Taimu at the same time as Miro's jumping in up top, splitting the team into 2 pieces, forcing them onto the low ground and disrupting them completely. And this only took Seoul Dynasty a couple of prods to be able to find out how to break this, and it forced Dallas Fuel to have to adapt their defense. It was this constant metagame of having to adapt strategies. It was absolutely beautiful to watch.
As we take a look at some more of the highlights from Anubis, because it was just full of them. Bren, what did you see from Dallas Fuel? What was working for them? Why were they able to capture at such blistering speeds? And then what happened on the flip side when we went over to Seoul?
Yeah, a big part of this was effect.
Вообще Близы молодцы, что развивают такой киберспорт на уровне футбола. Надеюсь, это и людей будет больше смотреть. Там уже билеты не надо покупать, чтобы посмотреть, как 22 миллионера гоняют мяч.
Which meant that they eventually just edged out over them.
Yeah, it was really interesting actually to see the kind of trajectory of both of these teams. I was keeping an eye on the hook accuracy stats from Taimu over the course of this game. After the first couple of successful pushes, he was at an
прошла пока первая игра, Тайму
78% hook accuracy. This is incredible. And pair that up with effect, and both of them were playing like monsters. But towards the end of the map, the average over the whole course of it dipped down to 45%. So you can see that towards the second half, he was not getting the same kind of rewards with that hook. Now, on the flip side of that, for Seoul Dynasty, Fleta had an incredible performance that only seemed to get better as the map went on. He played about the same level as Effect on the Widowmaker, but got less than half of the deaths. So he's still putting up some crazy numbers and being able to flank around the left-hand side, as Monty was saying on the cast. able to hit all of these shots, but dying less than half the times.
Is he the most impressive player in the lobby so far for you, Sideshow?
For me, yeah. I think that this guy genuinely could be, over the course of Overwatch League Season 1, considered the best player in the world. He is somebody to keep your eye on for sure.
Fleta from Seoul Dynasty has been a rock star. On the flip side, who has been going off for the Dallas Fuel, Bren?
Effect, again, it's all the Korea show, really, to be honest, here. It's honestly, they're just so good. Effect is a phenomenal player. He's so flexible as well, whips out the Doomfist every now and then. But we saw him in his Widowmaker mainly here. And again, he was the driving force of Dallas. Unfortunately, couldn't clinch out the map, but so close to doing it.
You both picked our first two matches correctly. This is the third match of the day, and you're both going with Seoul Dynasty. You said it would be 3-1. We're currently tied up 1-1. Last chance. Do you want to change your predictions?
No, I don't think so. I did expect Dallas Fuel to be favored on Junkertown. I think we both did.
Yeah.
And as the series goes on, I expect more of this Seoul Dynasty ability to adapt and take over the match to really rear its head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's nailed it in one, to be honest. It's going to be Seoul Dynasty all the way.
All right, well, we would like to end our halftime on a more serious note and take a moment to honor a member of the community that we lost too soon. Team Envious captain and Apex champion Internet Hulk was a beacon of positivity and an outstanding teammate this year. The Overwatch League will be honoring him by awarding the Dennis Havelka Award to the player who has the most positive impact on the community throughout 2018. We miss you, Dennis.
Hi, my name is Dennis Havelka. My gamertag is Internet Hulk, and I play for Team Germany.
When you think about a player that's had veteran leadership, both as a player and later on as a coach, you need to look no further than Internet Hulk.
Internet Hulk has been in the space for such a long time. He's just a fan favorite. Everyone likes Internet Hulk.
I pick Internet Hulk!
See Hulk looking much happier now.
Internet Hulk was a good leader, putting the team together and make them focus on what's really important.
I feel like best at whatever you do in life is if you're like giving more than 100%. And in the moment, you get like fire, literally, like you're burning, you know?
The Germans really benefited from having a guy like Internet Hulk in their roster.
I want to give a huge shout out to the German community. Thanks to everyone who messaged me and wished us best of luck in the World Cup. And I love you guys. I made a career out of gaming when I was 29. I had a rough past before that, but I told my dad what I'm doing, and he's watching my games. And it's the best feeling in the world to actually make your parents proud. And I feel like that's what I did. It's amazing.
Did that hurt?
I will watch over you.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blizzard Esports Arena here in Burbank, California. Dallas Fuel and Seoul Dynasty tied up. We knew this series would be sick, and man, Monty, it has delivered.
And we've missed you too, guy in the audience with an I've missed Monty and Doa. It's great to be back here in America. It's great to be here for the start of the Overwatch League, so thank you very much for coming out.
That's right, man. I mean, you know, we're used to this like weekly thing, doing a lot of broadcasts each week. It's been weird. It's been a weird 2017, kind of doing things here and there, but now we're back. It's time. Let's get into map number 3. No subs for either team. We are going to Ilios. As you can see, Junkertown going Dallas's way. Anubis went the way of Seoul Dynasty, but now we go to our control map. What do you think, Monty? Which way is this one to go? Make a prediction.
I don't know, Doa.
Make a prediction!
No, I can't. The last time we saw this Dallas Fuel team in the preseason play control, they were doing Orisa, Roadhog on Oasis, not running a Pharah.
It worked well.
It worked well. I don't disagree, but I'm saying it's hard to predict this Fuel roster because they tend to do very weird things. They're innovative. We are going to see Lighthouse as our first map. Do not let well fool you.
That's right. That's right. You guys are getting a beautiful map fly through of Ilios. We get to see on our other super secret monitor. Well, I guess it's not so secret anymore. What's really going on? And yes, we are starting on Lighthouse. But this should be interesting because, again, like you mentioned, Dallas Fuel did show us such an interesting composition that they used on all of the control maps they played on the preseason. And will we see that again this time?
It looks, at least at first blush, like we will see Fleta on the Pharah coming in, so a new hero. Yeah, we've seen it before. A new hero for this matchup so far, and Taimu may be taking the reins of the Widowmaker.
Okay, I could see that. Crowd getting into it, of course. Who wouldn't? I'm into it.
I'm so into it right now. It's such a privilege to have such a high-level game on our very first day of the Overwatch League. If you are new to watching professional Overwatch, this is what great gameplay looks like.
Dude, this is about as good as it gets as we see Dallas Fuel and Seoul Dynasty charging into each other here on Lighthouse. We are on Ilios. Best of 3 control map. XQC putting down that force field, paving the way for his team to come in. They're going to have to counter the dive, though, as Seoul gets aggressive.
And they actually killed Miro immediately, so falling back, Dallas Fuel take the defensive stance and allow Miro to jump into them, and he's not in a position where he's going to be able to get rezzed by Jayhawk.
Taimu on a good position on the outside here. XQC does fall, though, so when it comes to action on the point, Seoul doing okay. They've nearly got it captured, nearly got that control percent building. In fact, trying to make a difference, trying to put Dallas on his back and carry him. Misses that pulse bomb, but he does a little bit of damage anyway.
They're going to go ahead and recall, but it's not enough. Of course, right as I say, they can't res Miro. He gets resurrected, and they are able to turn the fight around. So finding the positioning as they continue to play aggressively and try and recover that position by Miro's gorilla body.
Is that the reverse caster curse? When you say
it
something
was.
bad is happening and then something good happens to the player?
Was great for the Fuel.
The caster blessing, that's what we call it.
Yeah, Effect, though, tries to salvage that for Fleta actually playing a close range. Pharah trying to get around. Chips will get around the corner of the roof before.
Ooh, that was an optimistic barrage from Fleta. I don't know about that one.
He was real close to taking down Chips.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway, but he may have given an opportunity for Dallas. Harry Hook gets the boop onto Zunba, actually. That's a diva out of the way. As they try to flip this point back again, they do lose Chips, though. So this may not go the way Dallas wants to right now. Doesn't look like it will.
They're slowly trickling back in. However, Fleta is shooting into the point from the far side by his spawn. Everybody going to be respawning. Munchkin dashing his way back into this fight.
Well, you can't really get on a point and hold it with Pharah, but you can put in a lot of damage from the side. Oh, long break down for Toby. I don't think he hit anyone with that.
He got a Fleta only.
He got a couple, okay.
Yeah,
wanted more, but
yeah, that was not the positioning you wanted when you have that sound barrier.
Yeah, seemed to be enough though. XQC does get taken down by Munchkin in the meantime. Toby's still alive. Oh, not for long. See ya. Say goodbye.
So I had more kills there from the boop. So it's still this fight going on, but Seoul has delayed this match so long that they're nearly at 80%.
They gained a lot of percent just on this extended fight, and Dallas may finally flip it here. They will. They'll get that control percent building, but already 83% for Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, both Valkyries available, so a quick pick on a Mercy could mean the difference in this upcoming team fight. In fact, has his pulse bomb. Yeah. And he's just trying to make sure there aren't going to be anybody jumping from behind. Wants to use this for a pick as fast as he can. Does have to recall early, so he's not going to have an immediate opportunity.
Yeah, in fact, trying to be the Winston Hunter there for the second. Tosses out the pulse bomb. It goes wide, though. Doesn't connect. And he's going to want that one back again. Trying to chase down the supports. Toby taking a bit of damage. Fleta drops a barrage. Takes out Taimu. Chip brings him back up right away.
Both players resurrected, so the show isn't over yet. Chip Hyatt actually manages to get a kill on the Fleta. Going for that battle for the XQC.
Oh, down.
Knocked off.
Down without his leap cooldown, and that's going to hurt Dallas a bit. Seoul on the verge of maybe sending this one to 99% here. They did flip it back.
Now look, they're in really good position. Zunba can still zone people off and remech with that self-destruct, so Seoul should be taking this.
Trying to get back in. Last-ditch effort here from Harry Hook on that Lucio. If anyone can do it, he can. He drops the sound barrier. No, that's Seoul on the sound barrier. They've got that Lucio out, OT ticking away, and that is going to be point one, going the way of Seoul Dynasty.
That was commanding from Seoul Dynasty.
Sure was.
That first point, you can see Lunatic High was always a team, whether they're playing defense on an assault map or they're on these control points. Even when they start to lose a fight, it is so hard to get them off the point because they are experts at communicating how they're going to trickle back on. Right. And Seoul earned probably an additional 25% on that point just by playing the staggering properly.
Yeah. So we're going to the well now. Welcome to well. Dallas Fuel with a chance to tie things up. If there's any map, any round you want to be a Lucio on, this is the one. And Toby and Chips this time, ready to go. Interesting. Okay, there we go. I was confused there, man. I mean, that would be the opposite of what you'd normally see from Dallas, but that makes more sense. Harry on the Zen, Chips on the Mercy.
And interestingly, Mickey will be on the Roadhog now, the hero we've seen Taimu play this match, but they've got to have somebody to play that junk. So Fleta gets a quick pick as he knocks Taimu off the map.
Toby can't live. And this may be an opportunity. Nope, never mind.
Dallas Fuel
still standing strong.
Are going to get rolled up here. How many will die on the backside of this engagement? Zunba will reset while they force Dallas Fuel back. So giving him some time to go ahead and remech safely.
You know, Dallas still doing a lot of experimenting in this match. It is interesting to see them swap heroes up like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I'm a huge fan yet.
I'm a fan. I think you have the Orisa here and the McCree to help deal with the Pharah. For the most part, Fleta's been playing a pretty close range engagement.
Oh, hello. That's very close range as Fleta comes in with a point-blank barrage, grabs two, and makes it out with his life.
That's some death from above for you. Dropped like a rock into the middle of the Dallas roster and immediately gets the barrage with a couple of kills.
It's the melee Pharah. You don't see that one very often.
And now we're already up to 40%. Taimu be walking back in with a rip tire. He can manage to get it high enough in the sky. Maybe he can go ahead and take out Jae-Hong before he uses that Valkyrie.
Well, you've got some tall buildings to work off of for that. There's a dive coming in from Seoul, though. They don't even want Dallas to get to the point. Oh, they got brought back in with the halt. That's dangerous. So gets XQC with the self-destruct. He's taking down himself, I believe, though. Taimu finds a kill on Munchkin. Ooh, nearly finds the kill onto Toby there.
Drive-by resurrection.
Fly-by.
Fly-by resurrection. Played a dangerous game as Taimu was resurrected himself, but there's Taimu. Mid-air grenade.
Nobody expects the air-to-air Junkrat.
And so Dallas slowly making their way, but again, it's so hard for them to actually contest right here, particularly through that Primal Rage and the zoning that Miro's doing, just keeping everybody pressed back.
Well, that's the strength that we've seen from Seoul Dynasty is they just delay long enough. I mean, even if you're winning a fight, they just manage to hold on so long that look at this, Seoul Dynasty already nearing 99%.
Fleta still, he's just...
Oh, nice try.
He's using the roof, just putting the pressure against it right now, so he doesn't have to use his jets or his jump.
Yep.
And they're still just playing this zone style, and we haven't seen Dallas be able to effectively group up right now. Harry Hook
Took quite a few rockets, but it worked out. While there was, I believe Mickey did pull somebody into the well there with this hook. Oh, goodbye, Mickey. You're going in the well, too. Fleta with a concussion grenade kill. Gets one with his ult before he goes down. Toby brought back up again. And now it's on Miro. Oh, he missed the jump. Whoops.
May not matter, though, Doa. May not matter. They only have XQC there now.
Hey, it matters to his feelings.
Oh,
goodbye.
4 boops for the boop god. Harry Hook. Behind the bottom of the well.
Put in the well during Transcendence even. That one stings a bit. Toby going wild on this Lucio right now. Finds Chips as he flies by. There's another one and another one. Mickey into the well courtesy of Fleta with some help from Toby. We'll give him some credit for that one. And that is it. Seoul Dynasty will take a 2-0 here on Ilios. Well, that was pretty dominant, wasn't it?
That was definitely dominant.
Wow.
They never figured out how to contain Fleta on the Pharah.
I feel like we just got started with this map. I'm not ready to go to a break yet, man. I don't know how to keep going, but...
It's okay, Joe. We've got at least one more map remaining tonight.
We have one more map, maybe two. Dallas Fuel was still a chance to tie things up when we go to our 4th hybrid map. In just a little bit, I want to see that Li Jiang Tower, man. I want to see the tiebreaker.
We all do. We all do. How could you not at this point in time after the hype delivered on those first 2 maps?
That's right. We're going to take a quick break, guys. We'll be back with map 4. Don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP.
Welcome back once again. Guys, are you guys ready for the potential last map of the day? That wasn't as convincing as I wanted it to, but I'll get to that again later. You know, the crowd here has been absolutely amazing ever since we started the day. You guys are part of that Love it. Yeah, very subtle, very low key. I'm taking an uneducated guess and say you guys are Dallas Fuel fans. Yeah, shot in the dark, but you know, I don't like taking risks. Why are you Dallas fans?
Oh, they just have so many different play styles and personalities, and somehow they make it all work together. They're just so different. Every game's new. I just love them.
Just love them. That's it. How about you?
The energy. XQC, Mickey, so much energy. I love it. They bring it up. They bring out the house. You know, they bring it up.
They really do. They really bring up the house. Now, favorite player, could it be Seul or are you just into birds?
Maybe, I don't know, I guess. I've kind of, yeah, Seagull.
Okay, Seul it is. I love that you guys came equipped. Guys, thank you so much. Are you guys ready for this next match? Well, let's find out if the Dallas can tie it up 2-2 and potentially bring it to a fifth and final map or not. We find out in just a bit, and for all the action, heading over to our casters.
All right, guys, Dallas Fuel fans are getting tense because that last map looked pretty dominating for Seoul Dynasty, but one last chance. If they can tie it up here on our hybrid map, we could go to that tiebreaker Lijiang Tower map. I think it's possible.
I think it definitely is. And even though Dallas looked less convincing on the control map, remember that they were the ones who came out victorious on the escort map. And now that we're moving into that hybrid, it's obviously more similar to that style of play. So we'll have to see what they can pull out on Numbani. We do not have any roster changes. So surprising, Seoul, with their deep DPS bench, has not moved any of those additional players into the match today.
I am actually really surprised because when we watched Seoul during the preseason, they had those extra players, you know, like Bunny, like Kuki, and those guys did pretty well overall. I think Bunny at least deserves a shot to get in here, but hey, you know, you're going to go with what you think is going to give you the best chance to win, and maybe we'll see some swaps in the future.
Yeah, I think we will. Maybe on a week-by-week or a match-by-match basis. We don't know what they've been preparing across different maps. And for the Dallas Fuel side, they seem comfortable heading into this one with XQC and Mickey one more time. In fact, in time, we will be staying at that DPS position.
That's right. So Nimbani's a fun map, man. This is where things can get a little bit crazy on the strats from each team. We've seen some pretty bizarre stuff over the years.
We absolutely have, and we saw the rare point B hold earlier tonight.
Almost never happens.
Almost never happens, and as we look at these teams, it will be Seoul defending first, and Dallas Fuel will be on the attack.
Yeah, that is right. So one last chance for Dallas Fuel to tie up this series and go to that Lijiang Tower tiebreaker. Chance to win. Seoul Dynasty with an opportunity to lock it up here and put a win in their results column for the very first match of the Overwatch League for them.
And we'll
die, Railings, die.
We'll see Jae-Hong on the Ana again, a player who will try and make that work whenever possible. And of course, at least on the first point of Numbani, where you can control that high ground, certainly a powerful selection for any team really in this meta.
You know, if I was like the maintenance crew for Numbani on the city level, I'd be really upset with people going around and destroying railings all over the city. That's a major safety hazard. Soldier, you should know better than that. You know, Dallas Fuel on the attack. They've got Harry on the Lucio again, so that speed boost is going to make things quick for Seoul Dynasty to have to react to. They're going in now.
Yeah, they're just going to get onto the point and force them to fight them. They're trying to go all the way back, Harry Hook.
A little bit too deep there.
Couldn't get with the protection of his team fast enough, and the first resurrection will be thrown his way by Chips Hyan. But they have made it through and all the way around the back. So can they control the high ground? They have two routes. You see Seoul Dynasty has repositioned on the far side.
Yeah, effect on the flank, doing some damage to Munchkin. Oh, but he gets caught by a Helix Rocket. That turnaround Helix Rocket is dangerous stuff, and XQC down to 40 HP, trying to get away. Meanwhile, his teammates standing strong on the point. They may have it already.
I mean, they are going to have it because both supports from Seoul, Jae-Hong and Toby, were killed at the start of that fight, so you can't contest them on the point without that healing.
That's true enough. Last-ditch effort from Miro. Valiant, but not going to make a difference here.
Patient play from the Dallas Fuel. They were not fazed by the early death of Harry Hook, protecting the Mercy so they could get the resurrection and then play that high ground. Now jumped on, and now Taimu pushing forward once again on the Soldier 76, making as much space for this payload as he can.
Well, they've built up a lot of momentum here already, pushing Seoul back quickly. A lot of time in the time bank.
Very odd death for Chips right there, actually. So all that room that they made is now no longer relevant as they have to wait for the rest of their players to come back up. So a bit of a misplay with a big advantage from the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, you don't see ChipsIon getting picked off too often. Yeah, any circumstance. Speaking of players getting picked off, there goes Toby. Munchkin does find effect. Mickey in the front lines here, self-destruct. We'll see if he decides to use it. Doesn't really need it quite yet. Needs to avoid those sleep darts, though. Meanwhile, attack visors coming out on both sides here. The payload is stalled out for the moment, though.
Yeah, blood is low. He's trying to run away. Actually does get killed by XQC. Yep. Seoul committed pretty hard to that fight. But Dallas Fuel may have used more. They had basically 6 ultimates heading into that. They use 4. Meanwhile, we keep the resurrection on the side of Seoul Dynasty. They will have another chance to stall here before point B is completed.
Beck getting pretty close to that pulse bomb. A big one in the back lines could make a difference. Trying to go after Toby here.
We got Toby with it already. That focus fire coming in will be defended by the Matrix from Zunba's Diva.
Yeah.
He's creeping closer, nearly there. They're going to engage with that self-destruct.
Yeah, and they get XQC with it. How in the world did he get caught?
He was slept by Jaehong, actually. And they threw the self-destruct in and just one-shot him with the Diva ultimate.
That's a heads-up pick on the side of Seoul, and they are going to win this team fight resoundingly. That payload is stalled. Another odd point B stall.
Yeah, they're still keeping it up though. Toby didn't have to use the Valkyrie, so play aggressively. If you get picked off, you'll be able to resurrect yourself and try and deal with that as soon as possible. If we take a look right here,
XQC up there.
Watch XQC. He's going to get slept in midair. There it is, right there. As we can see, and there comes the self-destruct.
Oh, no.
Instant reaction.
Right on top of him. Oh, that poor guy. Nothing you can do. How embarrassing. Oh, fade away stick on XQC. It has not been a good day for this guy on Nimbani.
I mean, that's not XQC's fault at all.
Oh,
he's getting dunked on by these skill shots.
That's I'm not saying we're rage quit material right there, but it's trying on the emotional side. Yeah.
As he's trying to get back to the safety of his team and the unfortunate target of a sleep dart.
Yep. That was just like a 3-point shot with that D-vault, though, man. I mean, it was a direct hit there. It's not something you want to wake up to. Oh, Nano Boost coming in. They're going to drop it onto Miro. Going to chase back the rest of Dallas here. ChipsIon does go down. XQC sleeping again.
Taimu, though, had the better angle with the tactical visor, so Dallas Fuel finally getting a foothold on point B, and Miro, the launch straight into a wall. Zunba wants to delay this for a little bit. He's going to use the self-destruct.
Well, Seoul Dynasty has bought themselves so much time already on this map, and point C's a tough one to take on Nimbani. When you make them take this long to get just through point B, that's great for Seoul.
Yeah, it is. Definitely a strong, strong case for them. Jaehong will switch over to the Zenyatta now.
True enough.
So I see him trying to take some long-range shots as both players poking at each other.
Run away. Self-destruct coming through. Oh, Taimu gets caught with a pulse bomb, though. And Seoul's been so aggressive with this defense.
После инсульта она не может двигаться и молча наблюдает за тем, как разрушается ее жизнь. Сын уже упаковал вещи, только фото со стены пока не сняли. Жалко. По данным генплана, на этом месте будет новая станция метро. Изначально дом должны были расселить, а землю изъять для госнужд. Но в документах указано, что это реновация. Жильцам предложили некую компенсацию в размере 9 тысяч рублей за квадратный метр. Таким образом, признав, что новостройка действительно в жутком состоянии.
Я считаю, что этот дом аварийный. Это мое мнение, как инженер.
Car is at least moving right now. Actually, it's been effect on the backside that's been keeping it rolling and preventing it from losing ground. So he did get something done there.
Snuck it forward a bit, but if he dies now, that's a big, big problem. Needs that health back. He gets it. They can't lose him here. Ooh, that's close. Effect so low. Oh, man, a staggered kill on effect would have been really annoying for Dallas to have to deal with.
Yeah, certainly would have been lots of ults. We're going to see some big fireworks here as both teams at 5 ultimates. A lot is going to depend on this next engagement.
Oh, yeah, it's about to get apocalyptic as the Transcendence gets popped by Hurry to start things off. There's that self-destruct from Mickey, back in the mech again. Effect does fall, though, so a good start for Seoul after a couple ults used.
Flood is really holding on to this Dragon Blade right now. I thought he'd use it after the trance faded away, but he's still got it. He's been healed up by his healer, so no need to use it just yet. They're going to win the fight without it, but the trance not going to come in time.
Yeah, Miro standing strong on the point right now. That Valkyrie used by ChipsIon got the reses off, but they weren't able to use it to push forward at all. And now the Dragon Blade comes out. There goes XQC, and the vulnerable backline does need to be concerned. Well, they're already dead. Mickey gonna be the last one to fall here, and that payload is still not moving. Only about a minute remaining for Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, fantastic patience from Fleta. Eventually gets out the Dragon Blade after he's resurrected. Taimu can't get the damage done with the tactical visor, and basically 10 ults used in that engagement, but Dallas Fuel not able to push up this payload any further.
50 seconds left. What do you do if you're Dallas Fuel? First, you
Miro nearly died.
Who's going back in? He got healed. There's that primal rage. Dude, that's going to keep him up. Fleta somehow taken out. During all of that, Mickey is demeched for the moment. That payload's still threatening.
Yeah,
it is
it's still
moving.
going. 30 seconds remaining, and they might have gotten some purchase. Taimu just standing on top of the car, trying to prevent them from stalling it any longer, but it's just being held back little by little as the members of Seoul resurrect. Oh, he gets him!
There it is, and Harry came up with a big kill early on in that. He's got the Transcendence now, and with that Pulse Bomb, maybe Effect can deny the respawns. They can pop Zoom out of the mech. That would be huge. Jaehyung in the back lines. Whoa,
where do you get back there?
You've got the trance. It's a zoning ultimate, Monte Cristo. He killed Chips, though. The flanking Zenyatta doing work for Seoul, but they need a bit more. They need to stop it right here, right now. Fleta diving in under Taimu gets the kill, but it doesn't stop Dallas from completing, or does it? That was a close one.
Wow, that was incredibly close at the end.
I can't believe they snuck it in there.
They snuck it in there because everybody was off the point. So actually, Dallas Fuel completes it with no time left in the bank.
That was one of those ones where you're like,
they crept it in there.
I'm gonna wait till the score screen. But
wow, we didn't have the best angle to look at that at first, but I'm sure we'll get a nice replay of that coming in. That was so incredibly close. Jaehyung tried something fancy right there. He had the Transcendence up, so he took the flank around the backside and actually managed to surprise Chips, kill him, and then get the Transcendence off, but couldn't make it back to the payload.
You know, that's one of those things where you love those really epic moves by Jaehyung to do that flank, get that kill, but at the end of the day, maybe some standard Zenyatta play where you just support your team and then you're there to trance on the payload to deny it, especially when your opponents are that close to overtime. Maybe would have been a better decision.
Maybe a little bit.
It's hard to say, though. Killing the Mercy is pretty good.
It is pretty excellent at that late stage of the game to eliminate the source of healing and prevent them from staying on top of the payload for any longer. So, are going to move towards a Dallas Fuel defense right now.
It's 3 points for Dallas, but they did do it in overtime. So no time in the time bank now. Great opportunity for Seoul.
What do you see?
I see Taimu playing Torbjorn. That's what I see. You know what?
This is going to stick at this point. It's 15 seconds left. He's going to get some ult charge by putting the turret forward. We've seen, obviously, a lot of Torbjorn played on Numbani for the first point of defense, but it hasn't been by Taimu.
Well, normally it's Toby. Normally it's coming from the Seoul Dynasty side, right? If we're going to see the Torbjorn, it's going to be on the Seoul side. Toby on the Mercy, though, on attack.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't have a good composition to use the Torbjorn. With both the Soldier and the Pharah there, there's a lot of long-range ability to take out these turrets.
Seoul sneaking in. We'll see how they can handle it. They're moving cautiously for the moment.
All 6 members coming around the side right now.
That'll do it. Yep. Taimu's turret down, and Mickey didn't make it back. Taimu taken out. All right, I think this is going to be a pretty quick point, Dave.
This is one of those
going well.
Yeah, this is one of those times, Noah, where sometimes you're just thrown off guard by the blind composition of the attack. You just get unlucky.
I mean, you kind of roll the dice a little bit, right? Because Fleta, maybe could have played the Genji, but he's played a lot of Pharah too. Munchkin, you don't know if he's going to come at you with the Tracer. You do see the Soldier a lot on Numbani these days. So,
and the upside is, if that is going to work, what happens is, okay, all of a sudden you win that first fight. Everybody has armor packs on the defense. You've got the Molten Core. It becomes incredibly difficult to crack the point. And the more it snowballs one way or the other pretty fast.
The longer you defend point A, too, the easier it is to hold on point C. You kind of expect it to go through point B if they take point A, but you just want to hold that point C.
Yeah, Munchkin already using the tactical visor on the Soldier, but not coming away with any kills as Fleta looks for some long-range shots. Does get Harry Hook. That will be an immediate resurrection by Chipsayan.
Well, Taimu finds the kill on Defleta, though. And Munchkin firing away. They are getting pushed back a bit by Dallas. XQC getting in there. He's got the Primal Rage to warrant the aggressiveness.
Yeah, but
is there a fight to really use that in right now?
I mean, if you're Seoul, you just back up. You see the Valkyrie being used. Your spawn is right there. Just go in and re-engage with these support ultimates. You know they don't have the Primal Rage. You know they don't have a Valkyrie.
And Trance on both sides right now. Taimu, though, caught by that self-destruct. Mickey not going to survive too much longer as he's demeched. And that payload starting to get pushed forward now by Seoul Dynasty.
Unfortunately for Dallas, there's very little value in using ultimates for a very quick attack, right? Because it's too easy, as we see Fleta, of course, running on the Doomfist now.
Hey, why not? You know, Fleta was one of the better Doomfist players in Korea as we think about the later seasons of Apex.
Yeah, and he's just looking to see if he can pop out around a corner and one-shot somebody.
That's the plan.
It is.
Here we go. Goes in. A lot of damage on XQC there. Bringing him back. Doesn't overcommit, though. Important with the Doomfist. Oh, there's a kill on effect, though. That helps out.
Finds most of the damage. It flies over to Harry Hook.
He's not getting the finishing blows, but he is getting the damage they need. That's big.
He was just waiting for them to engage on them, and then
of course
popping people against the cart immediately afterwards. So a lot of time remaining now.
Yep.
For Seoul. Effect forced to recall.
Zumba going a bit wild on that Diva towards the end of the fight too.
Toby going to be coming back. No Valkyrie in sight to combat that of Chips high-end, but...
Yep. And here comes the Reinhardt. Going full defense, Mickey on the Zarya now. They're going for shields. Effect gets Miro. Fleta falls as well. And Seoul forced to back off and reconsider things a bit.
Yeah, they do. With the two bigs can't actually get the resurrection. They're going to have to wait now for this Diva to... Well, Taimu's going to finish it off. Thought Zumba was going to have to take a long walk off a cliff, but not going to be the case. So XQC on the Reinhardt. They know that a lot of this damage is going to be coming straight from the front. Mickey will be playing the Zarya now, wanting to go for a big combo.
Yeah. Taking the high ground here. Chasing Effect away for the moment. Oh, we knew who that recall was going to be. That was a close one. Belgian play. There's a Transcendence coming in from Dallas as they try to push forward, or they try to push them back. Taimu! Oh, Taimu catches a peeking Munchkin. Getting a little bit over-eager there, and now Jaehoong with that Transcendence.
He tried to be cute, though. He tried to peek over, had the high ground advantage, but...
You don't do that.
Yeah.
It's a bit dangerous.
He did misjudge the Deadeye.
I think he thought his rocket did more damage than it did. He thought he could maybe finish Taimu off with a couple of headshots, but it's not the case. And Seoul struggling a little bit to push this one.
Yeah, great news for the Fuel, too.
Yeah.
A lot of ultimates used by the Seoul Dynasty on that last push. Zunba will be going back to his signature Zarya play. So what we're seeing now with Fleta not switching is they want to have that, what we call the Space Jam combo of the Graviton Surge. Oh, he is going to switch now. Of course, with the Meteor Strike. Sometimes when you have 3 minutes left on the clock, you can really just build up the Graviton and try for that epic team fight combo that you can just straight up win you the map.
Well, speaking of Gravitons, Mickey drops his. Where's the follow-up? Taimu with a kill on the Miro, who swapped over to that Reinhardt. That's a lot of charge onto Mickey. Doing a ton of damage on that Zarya. Toby comes in for the double res though, but Mickey gets the pin. Oh, but he goes too deep. Or gets pinned, rather.
Yeah, Miro actually reverse pinned him, too, as they tried to come back on that attack. So it's a brawl now right in front of this card, and Fleta will just walk up onto Reinhardt and deal with him with the shotguns.
That's kind of what happens when you're playing that Reaper against the tanks like that. Effect gets the stick, gets a kill on the Miro, looking for a finishing blow to Zumba, but he's got to deal with the healing of that Mercy. Back on the payload once more. Effect does fall. That payload's moving.
It may not reach the end, though, Doa. Remember, Dallas is going to regroup before they can finish this map, and they have a huge advantage in ultimate. Transcendence and Valkyrie available, so we should see Dallas hold strong.
Now they're going to try at least. They've got the tools to do it. They just need to use them wisely. Deadeye finds Munchkin. Taimu's been pretty tricky about those so far.
And this is great. They shouldn't use any more ults right now. Munchkin was in the back flanking, so they can't get to him for a resurrection.
Yeah.
So don't use the support ults, just keep pushing them back, force them onto another push, and delay the clock as much as possible. Good discipline from Dallas.
Oh, and a pulse bomb on Jae-Hong to put the period at the end of that sentence. And Dallas will hold for now. Saving both support ultimates crucially. They've given themselves a chance.
All right, Flood is back on the Junkrat. If you remember back to the first map, this is where we saw a lot of opportunities opened up where he had some great mines into a Graviton. That's why he's switching right now. They need some sort of combo to put the exclamation point at the end of this sentence.
Wow, very punctuation-focused casting at the end of this map.
That's right, we're seeing a great match, period, Noah.
Absolutely, no question mark about that. Monte Cristo effect brought back up after going down here. Simba waiting for it. There's the Graviton Surge. What are they gonna do with it? Transcendence keeping people up. Miro taken down by that Earth Shatter, it seemed like, yeah, or Miro using it rather.
And Effect actually picks up the kill onto Fleta, so neither side has a great Graviton Surge right there. Yep. Nobody could actually follow up on the damage from the CC, so we've got Fleta now still continuing to spam into the side. They're trying to break this Reinhardt shield. He'll get the mind kill.
Here we go. They see me rolling. Oh, they hate because they don't get kills. Effect gets the snipe onto that Riptire, gets him as well, but the payload moves forward anyway. Dallas still with a chance here to hold.
I mean, Effect needs to get off his Widowmaker. They need to get onto the actual payload.
That's right, and onto heroes that can actually hold that payload. We're into OT right now. Again, the Diva XQC on the Winston, staying back behind the payload, avoiding the shots while his teammates respond. Payload inches forward a little bit more. Seul behind it. There's a Deadeye. No kills out of that one for Munchkin, it looks like. The payload's moving. They gotta get there. Oh, they can't. And both teams will complete it in OT.
Wow, this is going to be a very exciting final map. Remember that we do have to see Dallas win this map. A draw will still result in a Seoul Dynasty victory.
That's right. Seoul's still up. 2 maps to 1 right now. So Dallas needs to win it.
I really have to question Effect staying on that Widowmaker at the end of that map because you just didn't have that presence on the card that you needed. There wasn't going to be a big ultimate coming in, and because they had the Reinhardt, it was very difficult to find a good angle while they were all stacked up onto the card. So it's a tough though because you don't want to walk all the way back into spawn because you might miss that one pick that will actually turn the tide of the game.
He was hitting a couple shots there too, so there was reason for him to stay on it from his perspective, I'm sure.
Yeah, he really should have just switched off earlier though, before they had their final chance to stall that one out, try and get a little more flanking and at least play around the card and use that recall to stall out.
Pressure's on both of these teams. Dallas looking to win the map and tie the series. Seoul looking for a win or a tie on the map to win the series. Seoul on the defense. Dallas Fuel on the offense. We've got a defensive Pharah coming in for Fleta and Jae-Hong back on that fan favorite Ana pick. Dallas about to charge in.
Yeah, poking, seeing which way they're going to be coming in right now. It will be, looks like, a main street approach here into point A.
Yep, they're just gonna charge right in, man. Wasting no time as Dallas Fuel getting on here. Jae-Hong just trying to
both supports are dead for Dallas, so that's going to be in right here. Effect, seeing if he can get a later kill onto Jae-Hong, but with the biotic grenade still available, he's barely keeping Fleta up, has to reload, but there's a Mercy there to help him out.
The counter dive was real. As Dallas came in, Seoul responded by getting to the back line and eliminating all the healing.
That was an interesting strategy. I'm not sure I would have just ran straight onto the point against a Pharah and a Soldier who...
I mean, you don't know what's there, so you just kind of throw yourself in and give it a shot.
They have to deal with this far in the air somehow, and now they're trying to take a low ground approach instead, going through the tunnel and trying to get on the point one more time. Harry already dead to Miro.
Oh, Fleta low gets the healing just in time. Mickey popped out of the mech. That is big. Seoul Dynasty looking very strong here so far on point A, and that may be it. OT ticking away already. And with that team kill, that will be Seoul Dynasty holding Dallas to 0 ticks on that control meter.
Yeah, and right now, Doa, still important to play for map points, but Seoul Dynasty, even with a draw right now, will be taking this set. It has been a close one.
Very close one. I mean, we knew this one was going to be good, but I didn't realize it was going to be as close as we ended up seeing it. We have this round now, this final round here. See if Seul can take it. Remember, all they need is just one tick on the control meter to win the map.
Every map really is important in this league. It is a tiebreaker if you do have the same win-loss record. These are things that can decide many months from now when playoffs come around. So
yeah, that's right.
Consequential results.
Points matter, man. Here we go. Dallas taking a pretty standard defense here. Well, standard except for time on the Torbjorn. Yeah. All right, I admit I hadn't read through all the hero report just yet before I said that. I don't know, it didn't work very well last time, so I'm surprised to see them go with it, but I feel like the way Dallas approaches a lot of these maps is they have their strategy, and whether or not it works initially, they're going to keep running it. They're going to give it a chance, you know?
They played a very close set today, so it's hard to argue with them. They seem to be comfortable with these compositions. Harry Hook on the Soldier 76, with only a single support yet again, and Dynasty playing this long-range Soldier Pharah composition once again.
Right. Here we go. It's on the attack. Fleta gets a shot onto Harry Hook right off the bat.
He's just going to try and go to the far point right now. They know the far is coming in. Same exact approach and same exact first death onto the turret, but this time, Effect will be able to find a support kill on the back and force out the early res from Toby.
That's right. Coming into the side now. There's a dive onto the high ground. Mickey has to step back and get some healing. Away at XQC. Gonna go back across. Wow, he lost a lot of health. They really need, yeah, okay, there's the healing now on Mickey. That was a close call.
It's all right, just go ahead, give Chips that faster Valkyrie right now as the solo hero on this team, and Harry Hook is gonna find J-Hong in a hallway.
Yeah, attack denied already, and we're nearly out of time here. Down 2-0, we're into OT.
Can Mickey get this ultimate up in time? Yes, he's going to get that self-destruct.
Pulse bomb. Self-destruct to use. Mickey should get the mech back again. There's OT, and so our last map will end in a draw, which means that Seoul Dynasty, as we said earlier, has taken this series with a 2-1 victory, but man, that was close.
I mean, you just look at that second map, Temple of Anubis, and how it could have really gone either way at the end, and this is really just a couple of points away from being a Dallas Fuel win. So
yeah, pretty much.
But Seoul comes out today, they squeak by, we get a fantastic series of Overwatch in our very first day of the season.
I mean, it really could have gone either way. I mean, Dallas coming out, taking the first map, Seoul striking back, and really looking the most dominant on Ilios.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that control map was one-sided, that's for sure, but Dallas seemed to have a big edge on Junkertown, so.
Yeah, interesting. Well, a lot to look forward to as the season goes on. I think we've got a pretty solid rivalry here, and a lot of people would say Dallas Fuel, you know, we talked about this on Watchpoint, it's certainly looking like the strongest of the non-100% Korean teams. There we go. Now Dynasty realizes it. There we go. Congratulations, guys. Let's send it to the desk to break that down.
Thank you so much, Monty and Doa. Everyone here in LA, please put your hands together. What a hell of a match we just saw between the Dallas Fuel and the Seoul Dynasty. Seoul gets the edge, as our analysts have predicted, and we're going to break it all down, starting with map number 3, Sideshow. We saw Anubis. It took forever. So many caps on that. But then we come into Ilios, and the game's over before I get back from my bathroom break. Let's talk about why Seoul was able to dominate so quickly in this game type.
Yeah, we've got the winning fight here of Ilios that we can take a look at while I discuss the big picture here between Dynasty and between Dallas Fuel. Dallas Fuel running kind of strange compositions for control, and you just see in this clip all of the crazy solo plays coming out from Seoul Dynasty. Everybody can come out with amazing performances, apart from Miro, who just jumped into the well. But we'll ignore that one for a second. But the general style of Seoul Dynasty allows them to play a lot of different maps, especially the control maps, where you need to be able to play aggressively, you need to dive into situations and get those picks. Whereas Dallas Fuel were playing, again, very passive compositions. They're playing with the Widowmaker Tracer. It's hard for them to enter areas and generate picks. They just have to hope that they come towards them.
Was there an issue with Dallas Fuel's DPS when it came to that control map, Bren?
I wouldn't say so. I feel like the DPS were performing. It was just the fact that Seoul Dynasty were a lot better in terms of supports. Their tank players well. Miro had a phenomenal game on the Winston himself. Toby as well, turning up multiple times on the Lucio. I really can't fault Dallas Fuel for their DPS players at all that game, to be honest. It's mainly going to be Seoul just playing a lot better.
Let's keep this moving into map number 4. Numbani ends up in a draw, but it was Seoul that impressed us the most while watching this. Yes, we saw some nice highlights from the Dallas Fuel, but Seoul on a macro level is truly standing out so far in this league.
Yeah, exactly. And we've got a brilliant clip to really demonstrate this. This is the initial push, I believe, by Dallas Fuel coming into Numbani as well that we can take a look at. But generally, the ult economy coming out from Seoul Dynasty was a lot better throughout this entire game. You'll notice in this team fight here, it intros in with Toby just using the Valkyrie, and that's it. That's the only ultimate they use, whereas Dallas Fuel are using so much here. The self-destruct was used, as well as Harry Hook's own Transcendence. Really not getting too much value from it, and that was the case throughout a lot of these team fights, even though the map was drawn.
What actually impressed me the most about that fight as well is the fact that Flitter is under pressure the entire time, and he's juking and he's dodging and he's making sure that the rest of his teammates peel for him and allow him position, and the whole time Dallas are just trying to chase him down because he has that big Dragon Blade, and then he just allows himself to die, comes straight back in the next fight, and wipes them again. So it's just, they know exactly when to use all of these ultimates.
All right, let's award our player of the match. Of course, this is our player of the match sponsored by Omen by HP. So far, we've had Soon win it, we've had Shaz win it. Who takes it for this battle between Dallas Fuel and Seoul?
I think we can all agree it's going to be Flitter, isn't it, in this scenario? I mean, the guy has had a monstrous performance so far across this entire matchup, and I mean, he's played a ridiculous amount of heroes as well. I don't know the precise number, but
eight heroes over the course of the match. That's four maps, and obviously he's playing the same heroes quite often throughout the course of it, but 8 heroes, and to play each at such a high level is phenomenal play. This is such a great addition to Seoul Dynasty as well, because previously they were still winning titles even with what some would consider mediocre DPS players. Now they have some of the best in the world.
Seoul has definitely staffed up, and they showed against one of the best teams in the game. Fleta is our player of the match, powered by Omen by HP. That's going to do it for us here at the desk for day number 1. But remember, there's plenty more games to come in the regular season. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. And here's a look at the matches you'll be seeing. We have the shock, of course, falling to the Valiant. That was an 0-4 loss in our first match. The Dragons fell to the Gladiators as both of our LA teams reigned supreme up top of the leaderboard. And then, of course, Dynasty gets the win over the Dallas Fuel for their first win of the regular season. Tomorrow we kick things off at 2 p.m. So many great matches, starting with London Spitfire versus the Florida Mayhem. We got the Philadelphia Fusion for the first time in front of our live audience going up against the Houston Outlaws. And we'll close things out with the rematch from the preseason. One of the best in all sports, it's Boston taking on New York. For everyone here at the Overwatch League, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific.
On the stream, can they see us on the stream?
Not right now. They're still in like.
I'm sure the people on stage know.
If you guys need to pick your nose, do it right now, dude. You're ready, guys.
The iris. It's like shooting fish in a clear. Now secure the payload. Let's move it out. Oh, excuse me.
Popularité.
Check me out. I feel the warmth of the iris. But an extinguisher is not required. For your own first it's happening. Like shooting fish in a